Bike rafting is one of the most unique forms of human-powered adventure travel. Few places exist in the world that can't be traversed with a boat strapped to a bike and conversely a bike strapped to a boat. The epitome of independence, bike rafting requires no shuttle, no motors, and you can carry everything you need on both boat and bike. I'm Deane Parker. Bike rafting has been a part of my adventure life for about 4 years. Starting as a novelty, it has become a passion, one I strive to introduce to others. I never would have dreamed that this niche sport would attract public interest in adopting. I was excited when Hugh Miles from Packrafting Queenstown suggested putting together a bike rafting instructional course. Late in 2020, good friend and fellow adventurer Mule and I headed down to Central Otago to assist with running the first instructional course in New Zealand. The first person to sign up was Helen.
I'm Helen Nugtaran. I'm a mere 68 years old. In probably 2009, my husband and I saw a wee clip. I don't think it was a video clip, but I think maybe it was a movie of Roman Dial and his book, Packrafting. We dreamed of this packrafting movement. We saw pictures of the expeditions that Roman had done in Alaska and thought, wow, well, let's go to Alaska as well, but without a packraft. I was widowed in 2012, and while the idea had been for Jim and I to packraft, actually one person packrafting in my book wasn't a safe adventure, and I would need other people. I was the first actually to enrol to attend the first bike rafting course held in Queenstown in New Zealand, and it was one of the most exciting weekends I've had. It was exciting. There was a whole lot of unknowns because I really didn't know how you would put a bike on a raft. I think I'd seen pictures of bikes disassembled and stacked up, but I thought, really, is it not going to be too heavy in the bow? And would it balance? And would we float deep or would we float on top? But yeah, so I saw it and thought, yes, I want to do that. I don't think anybody was frightened for me. They just were saying, well, you know, we'd never do that. But I see something and I think, yeah, I'm going to do it.
We're just on the banks of the Rees River here, packing up our boats, getting ready for launching on downstream.
Loaded our bikes, so it was learning how to stack everything on your bike and then to hop on it and to bike back to the put-in area. But of course, when you've got a heavier load, then of course you're slower. So again, you know, somebody tail end Charlie, but that's okay, I don't mind at all. Coming in that evening was a southerly change, which brought snow to the tops. But it was lovely to get to the hut.
So everyone's done really well today. I think the idea of having a nice introductory, gentle day today has been good, and everyone seems pretty switched on and pretty onto it. So tomorrow we're gonna just up that game ever so slightly.
How's the weather looking, Hugh?
I mean, there's lots of it, loads of weather in the Rees Valley. Yeah, better than forecast, but springtime, what can you do, eh?
The second morning, it had rained overnight and snowed up high, so when we woke, it was a fine morning. It was a beautiful morning. It was one out of the box. Pristine, the wind had dropped, the sun was out. I thought, wow, this is great, because the thought of going bike rafting with wind is not a nice, and definitely not with rain. So it was just a beautiful morning. Still mist in the valley, wasn't moving very fast away. It wasn't moving away, it was eerie, sort of mystical. Lovely, really lovely. And I've got a knee that's not terribly cooperative for multi-day tramping or hiking, overnight hiking on a number of days. And so this is a move sideways. I'd like to be able to bike to a hut and then hop in a packraft and float out. I mean, best of both worlds.
Yeah, that's a rock. That's another rock. Yeah, so we're floating over a rock bouncing up.
There was a decision made at the hut about actually would we bike raft or would we just want a pack raft, and there were 3 of us who were prepared to do the bike rafting again. I think probably that was enough for them, but they might not have felt comfortable about taking bikes too, or as I also thought they wanted to preserve their beautiful bikes and I don't really care about my bike. It's a bike, it's to be used, and so it didn't matter. And I wanted to see actually what it was like day 2 to float down the river. Disassembling the bike and loading it on yourself, whereas day 1, Deane and Hugh and Mule had helped us balance our bikes and effectively tied them on. I took photos so I could see how it was done for later reference. But day 2 was actually we could do it ourselves, and so getting it right was good practice. We hopped in and then came to the first major rapid and got out, and Hugh showed us how to read a river and scout that set of rapids, because there were quite a few, and we talked about which lines we ought to take. So I'm looking forward to exploring more with others. So we probably need some more people to actually know about bike rafting in order to build the strength of the pack rafting community who can do that, because there's no point in going bike rafting with yourself.
Straighten up, Helen, straighten up. Good.
So I'd like to encourage more people to try bike rafting so that you can come with me or I can come with you.
What'd you think of that, Helen?
That was just amazing. Yeah, just what I wanted. Learn how to put the bike on the pack raft and keep upskilling my pack rafting skills, which are still pretty hopeless when I see the line that everybody else takes and I can't do it, but I didn't fall out, so it's a win. Thank you, Deane.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
At the conclusion of the course, my expectations were exceeded, that we were able to complete rank beginner pack crafters, were successfully negotiating grade 2 rapids with a bike strapped to the front of their pack craft.
Yeah.
Who are the people that have been most influential to you in pack rafting and bike rafting?
You know, number one, hats off to is Dolkara Martig. Great inspirational woman, has kind of got the packrafting community, got it underway, the meetups. Hugh Kennard is a legend as far as anything to do with kayaking, and now importantly in packrafting, as he's inspirational too, and so willing to pass on the skills